Welcome to Eye on the Tigers News. I'm Nathaniel Schrader.
And I'm Aislinn Foltz. We're happy you found some time to join us today.
And here's the news we're looking at for you. President Barack Obama delivered his 7th State of the Union speech last night to a joint session of Congress. In the address, the president outlined his agenda for the next year, which included expanding paid sick leave, making 2 years of community college free, increasing the minimum wage, and reforming the tax code. His challenge to get those programs supported will be difficult since both houses are controlled by a Republican majority.
That's why I believe this can be a breakthrough year for America. After 5 years of grit and determined effort, the United States is better positioned for the 21st century than any other nation on earth. The question for everyone in this chamber, running through every decision we make this year, is whether we are going to help or hinder this progress. For several years now, this town has been consumed by a rancorous argument over the proper size of the federal government. It's an important debate, one that dates back to our very founding. But when that debate prevents us from carrying out even the most basic functions of our democracy, when our differences shut down government or threaten the full faith and credit of the United States, then we are not doing right by the American people.
The president also lauded his administration's recent victories, pointing to steady economic growth, reduced deficits, and improving unemployment figures. On foreign policy matters, the president sought out more common ground on foreign policy, pledging to work with Congress on a new authorization for military action against the Islamic State group in Iraq and Syria, as well as legislation to guard against cyber attacks.
Similarly, New York's Governor Andrew Cuomo is delivering his State of the State speech as we record our newscast. Cuomo is expected to spend the bulk of his speech on education, including tuition assistance that will forgive some student loans. Cuomo is also expected to discuss sweeping K-12 education reform, which will include stricter teacher evaluations. The governor is also expected to propose tax relief aimed at helping middle-class families.
The hearing on whether or not to grant Gary Thibodeau a new trial in the 1994 Heidi Allen kidnapping case is in recess until the first weeks in February. But yesterday news came down that there may have been an eyewitness to the abduction. Bill Pierce said he saw Heidi Allen get kidnapped 21 years ago, but never told authorities until last summer. He said he identified James Steen as one of 2 people who grabbed her outside of a convenience store, according to Syracuse.com. It's the first time an eyewitness has come forward with information that appears to directly link Steen to the kidnapping.
The first time James Holmes appeared in court, he wore chains and a jail jumpsuit and looked dazed, with his hair dyed a comic book shade of orange. As the first day of jury selection ended Tuesday in the Colorado theater shooting case, it was a far different Holmes as the defense table. The jail uniform was replaced with khaki slacks, a light-colored dress shirt, and a blue blazer. His hair, now dark brown, was neatly trimmed. The former graduate student, whose attorneys acknowledged opened fire at a midnight Batman movie back in 2012, also had a curly medium-length beard and wore oval-shaped reddish glasses. No restraints were visible, though. The judge had ordered him to be tethered to the floor in a way the public could not see for the trial.
Authorities were scrambling to decontaminate a water treatment plant serving 6,000 eastern Montana residents after a cancer-causing component of oil was found downstream of a Yellowstone River pipeline spill. Up to 50,000 gallons of crude were released in the weekend spill. As residents lined up at a distribution center to receive bottled water, officials took steps Tuesday to decontaminate the city's water treatment plant by adding more activated carbon, a type of charcoal.
Arizona became the first state in the nation last week to enact a law requiring high school students to pass the U.S. citizenship test on civics before graduation, giving a boost to the growing nationwide effort to boost civics education. The swift action in Arizona came as states around the country, including New York, are discussing similar measures. Arizona law requires high school students to correctly answer 60 of 100 questions on the civics portion of the test new citizens must pass.
Clint Eastwood's R-rated Iraq war drama, American Sniper, opened in January like a superhero movie in July, taking in a record $105.3 million over the Martin Luther King Jr. four-day weekend. The film's unprecedented success obliterated forecasts and set numerous box office records. It easily surpassed Avatar to become the biggest January weekend ever. American Sniper, nominated for 6 Academy Awards, immediately becomes the top grosser of the Best Picture nominees. The previous biggest hit was the Wes Anderson's Grand Budapest Hotel, which made $59.1 million in its entire run. Below temperatures greeted us again at the bus stop this morning, but the sun has warmed things up a little. Here's Shannon with the forecast.
Clear skies led to brutally cold temperatures this morning, but we will see temperatures rise to the upper 20s today and tomorrow before even more moderating temperatures for Friday. Each of the next 3 days will see times of clouds, but the sun may stick around for a little bit. This weekend, we'll see a developing system to our south bring the potential of some pretty significant snow to some eastern big cities. Right now, it looks like our region will be on the outer fringes of the snowmaker, but of course, we'll have to keep an eye on it.
The Super Bowl is set and SU grinds out a win. With a look at sports, here's Andrea Ross.
Mexico's swimming and diving team raced past Fulton yesterday with a 99-87 victory. Senior Jacob Zidek won 2 races and was part of a 3rd relay victory. Junior Noah Gluzo continued his dominance on the diving board. Gluzo turned in a score of 580.7 for the 11 dives. Gluzo has already booked his ticket for the state diving championships when he recorded a qualifying score back in December. Mexico's boys hoops suffered a tough setback last night with 54-52 against Chittenango. Down 10 points entering the 4th quarter, the Tigers charged back to send the game into overtime before being outscored 4-2 in the extra frame. Senior Justin Marsden paced the Tigers with 22 points. The Super Bowl is set. After staging one of the most stunning comebacks in the NFL playoff history, the Seattle Seahawks will look to repeat their performance from last year when they meet the New England Patriots on February 1st. Las Vegas bookmakers have the Patriots as a 1-point favorite in the game. Syracuse took advantage of a cold shooting first half by the Boston College, outscoring the Eagles 35-17 in the first half, before winning the game 69-61. 5 Orange players scored in double digits as Cuse improves to 5-1 in the ACC play.
Syracuse 4-1 in the ACC at home against winless Boston College, going for its first conference win. Transfer Aaron Brown leading the Eagles early. 3 early threes, this one from the corner. He had 21 points. A nice start for BC. But here come the Orange in transition. Tyler Roberson beats the defense back down the court. One of 5 Syracuse players in double figures. And then it's Rakeem Christmas. Nice move off the window there. An 11-1 Syracuse run, and the Orange keep it going. Michael Benajay into the lane. The basket and the foul. Cuse with a 24-2 advantage in the paint in the first half. Just an amazing stretch for the Orange. Trevor Cooney for 3, a 31-5 run. BC had 1 field goal in the last 14:45 of the half. 35-17 at the break. Second half, okay, BC rebounds. Dimitri Batten hits the 3, and they're within 11. Cuse answers with Silent G. Benajay, a team-high 17 points, including that 3-ball, 46-31. Nice defense, the block from Eddie Odio, and that starts the Eagles in transition. It's Batten. The finish, he had 17. Again, an 11-point game, 52-41. Christmas was constantly in foul trouble, but when he was in the game, he couldn't be stopped. 12 points, 7 boards before he fouled out. 69-61 the final. Cuse now 5-1 in the ACC.
The Orange continue ACC play when they host Miami on Saturday.
With a look at our calendar, here's Emma.
A look at the calendar shows that the days in the first semester are running out quickly. Next week's region exams will close out the first semester. Students are reminded to check the region schedule for time and location of their exams. Many upperclassmen will take the SAT this Saturday morning here at Mexico. The college entrance exam begins at 8. The girls' basketball team will host VVS tonight, with the varsity expected to tip off around 6:30. And finally, the wrestling team will travel to Scotland tonight with hopes of securing their second straight league championship.
With our history lesson, here's Callie.
Today in history, in 1793, France's King Louis XVI, condemned for treason, was executed on the guillotine. In 1954, the first atomic submarine, the USS Nautilus, was launched at Groton, Connecticut. In 1977, President Jimmy Carter pardoned almost all Vietnam War draft evaders. In 2003, the Census Bureau announced that Hispanics had surpassed blacks as America's largest minority group. In 2004, the recording industry sued 532 computer users it said were illegally distributing songs over the internet. In 2010, a bitterly divided Supreme Court in Citizens United versus Federal Election Commission vastly increased the power of big business and labor unions to influence the government. Decisions by freeing them to spend their millions directly to sway elections for president and Congress.
Thanks for joining us again. For the staff of Eye on the Tigers, I'm Aislinn Foltz.
And I'm Nathaniel Schrader. Have a great day.